Unit 8, The Environment. Lesson 1, Living in the Big Cities. Vocabulary. Trend, trend. Earning, earning. Adequate, adequate. Hygienic, hygienic. Physical, physical. Influence, influence. Migrate, migrate. Populous, populous. Demand, demand. Scarcity, scarcity. Interaction, interaction. Pollution, pollution. Potential, potential. Opportunity, opportunity. Mental, mental. Ignore, ignore. Lack of, lack of. Honest, honest. Proud of, proud of. Benefit, benefit. Pure, pure. Compulsion, compulsion. Living in big cities. Most people in our world believe that it is better to live in big cities than to live in small villages. And this belief further gives rise to a trend where large numbers of village people migrate to big cities. This trend can be easily seen in most parts of the world, as the pollution of big cities is on the rise. Mostly, people come to big cities because they find it very easy to get good earning opportunities in these populous cities, whereas villages fail in providing adequate earning potentials to their people. Second, in cities, there is more demand for services, thus creating more job opportunities for large numbers of people. However, there are a number of other issues which we mostly ignore due to earning compulsions. Though big cities provide a good potential of earning to a large number of people, but they also cause some disadvantages. Some of these things are highlighted below. Lack of open and hygienic housing facility for the people in big cities, because large numbers of these migrated people only live in small and unhygienic conditions. Scarcity of pure water and air, as most of the big cities of the world are polluted very badly. High levels of noise pollution in big cities, as compared to small villages, which create lots of physical and mental health problems to people in long term. Heavy traffic on the roads, increasing the chances of fatal accidents and problems in traveling. Availability of very less time for oneself and family. Very less interaction with the beauty of the nature. More rate of physical and mental problems among the people living in big cities as compared to small cities. A village man's impressions. People in small villages depend on the big cities for education and economic development. Almost all of the products of the villages are sent to the cities. City people are better able to keep abreast of development throughout the world by watching satellite television. Broadcasts from overseas influence the lives of city people. An example is fashion. Such influences are limited in small villages. I think that people in villages are more honest than those in the cities. I also think that the relationship between family members in small villages is stronger than that in the big cities. A university student's impressions. There are still differences in the educational achievements between the big cities and rural areas. It is difficult for students in rural areas to achieve the same results as our counterparts, even though we try just as hard. One of the advantages of the big cities is better job opportunities. The bigger the city, the more job opportunities it has. I want to live and work in a big city. Many of the young people in my village have gone to the city to work and found success there. I admire them. I believe that I will make my family and my village proud of me after I have gone to work in a big city. A village woman's impressions. In the big cities, most of the people are vying against each other. There are many distractions for young people in the big cities, such as television, videos, and satellite broadcasts. Young people with little experience of big cities need to be able to resist negative influences on their lives. But big cities are the best places to do business, and the improvements in communication will benefit rural areas. These days, many villages, such as our own, are improving at a faster rate. An artist's impressions. My impression of the big city is that life is not as pleasant as that in rural areas. But it must be said that it is possible to acquire a better education in big cities, such as Vientiane capital, where there are teachers who are specialists in their subjects. Vientiane capital is also the center of economic activity. The quality of life in the big cities is gradually improving. But I think the essence of the Lao way of life is easier found in the rural areas than in the big cities. The rural way of life is very pure. 1. Sorry I'm late. It took me longer to get here than I expected. 2. My toothache is more painful than it was yesterday. 3. She looks about 20, but in fact, she's much older than she looks. 4. The problem is not so complicated. It's more simple than you think. Your English has improved. You speak much better than you did when we last met. 5. Health and happiness are more important than money. 6. We always go camping when we go on holiday. It's much cheaper than staying in a hotel. 7. I like the countryside. It's healthier and more peaceful than living in a town.